What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of OTB Extra right here on your Wednesday afternoons, wherever you may be. Thank you guys so much for joining us right here on the OTB Extra. We're covering 3 stories today. I got my guy Loft here with me. Look at that. My man Loft is here on a Wednesday afternoon. How are you feeling, my man? It's we're getting ready for AEW Dynamite, another episode in the books, and we'll be getting closer to the next pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, man. How you feeling?
Every day is a good day. Every day is a good day to be a wrestling fan, man.
There
So
you go, man. So, guys, we're going to be covering 3 short stories for you guys today. We got news on WWE and AEW Collision, AEW's new show that is going to be like their B show, so to speak, to like how Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown are. Monday Night Raw is their flagship show, and then Friday Night SmackDown is their second show. AEW Collision is set to take place on June 17th and all that with the return of CM Punk. But it looks like WWE is expected to retaliate when it comes to AEW Collision. What that entails, we have
mm-mm,
no idea.
mm-mm,
Lars already shaking his head. It's not going to
mm-mm.
be a good thing, but we'll talk about that. Um, a major name is set for AEW All In. You guys know him very well. This man is an amazing professional wrestler, possibly, arguably, one of the greatest professional wrestlers in the world today. So we'll be talking about him and what he could possibly be doing for All In. And finally, we have backstage news as to the reason why Miro and Thunder Rosa were backstage at AEW this past week at AEW Dynamite. Miro just showed up, said nothing when Renee asked him what was going on, and he walked into TK's office, and Thunder Rosa said, "It looks like it's a great time to talk to Poppy Kong." And yes, she did say Poppy Kong. So, guys, we're going to be talking about these 3 stories. Very short episode here today, but we're going to be talking about things, and we'll get things squared away before AEW Dynamite tonight. So stay tuned for that, and we will get into everything now. Follow us on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below. You guys can follow me at PhillyMet_on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Loft has his stuff at Loft Not Famous. He's got some merch going there when it comes to his merch store. I think the Loft Not Famous promo code is still in effect.
Indeed.
It is. So you get that for 20% off. You use the code RedRaven20 for my merch, and you guys get 20% off. And you guys go down to the link in the description for the OTB merch, and you guys can use the code OTB20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase. And you can also use the code OTB20 at checkout for today's sponsor, which is SeatGeek. You're getting the best deal when you're using SeatGeek because they basically grab every ticketing information from all the ticket websites and put it right there in front of you. So you're getting the best deal. Green means good, red means bad. You go for the green, use code OTB20 at checkout, and you get $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek. So thank you so much, SeatGeek, for allowing us to be a partner with you. And we will continue to support the great product that is SeatGeek. So thank you so much for being a part of the OTB family. Lof, what do you want to cover first, my man? Do you want to cover Thunder and Miro? Do you want to cover AEW Collision and WWE possibly retaliating? Or you want to find out that big name that is slated to be at All in London?
Well, I already know the last one, so I mean, I am slightly horrified about what they was going to retaliate with, so that kind of scares me. So
Okay.
let's go that one first.
All right, so let's get that first one out of the way, man. Um, this is according the first people that actually reported this was Cultaholic, but it did get around to other news sites as well. But I am using the first bit of news, which was Cultaholic. So, um, AEW looks to have secured their future, and the promotion are reportedly set to debut a new Saturday night show called AEW Collision, airing on June 17th, and the new series will air on TNT in the US from 8 p.m. EST to 10 p.m. EST. And CM Punk is reportedly scheduled to be the star of this new show, although he is currently planned to make appearances on Dynamite at points as well. When AEW Collision is officially announced, WWE is set to retaliate in some way, according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And he said this, and I quote, on Wrestling Observer Radio. What WWE's next move will be in retaliation will always be interesting because there will be one. I just don't know what it is. I don't see WWE going to add a Saturday night show, but AEW will be going up against WWE pay-per-views many times a year, and I will not be surprised if they see NXT pay-per-views move to Saturdays as well, said Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter. WWE and AEW have had mixed relationships since All Elite Wrestling was formed in 2019. NXT and AEW Dynamite initially had their Wednesday night wars for about 18 months until WWE opted to move NXT to Tuesday nights after regularly losing in the ratings to Tony Khan's promotion. Relations between the two companies have become less frosty, with Chris Jericho even appearing on the Broken Skull sessions, but that all changed when Triple H became the CCO in July of 2022. WWE now allegedly reached out to AEW talent over the course of the last few months, trying to return to the company, but otherwise, as of contract tampering, WWE then scheduled for an NXT Premium Live event on the same day as AEW All Out, and have done something similar this year from NXT Battleground, which would be on the same day as Double or Nothing on May 28th. Tony Khan then went on to say a couple of months back that AEW and WWE, quote, hate each other. And that was the end of the report. So WWE retaliating against AEW Collision. Man, why? why can't people just stay in their own lane? Why can't we just figure things out on our own accord? I understand AEW Collision is most likely going to be competing against WWE pay-per-views during a lot of the time now, because WWE opted to do their pay-per-views on Saturdays now, which I'm perfectly fine with. But now fans are probably going to have to figure out what show they're going to want to watch more, AEW Collision or a WWE pay-per-view. Now, that's up to the prerogative of the fans and them wanting to do whatever they want to do. But, dude, WWE and AEW, they're always at each other's throats. We got to just stay in our own lane. And I don't understand why that's so hard for these people, but when you're running promotions, you gotta go where the fans are, and you gotta try to do what's best for your own company. AEW has been needing a second show. They've been needing a second show, and they found their show on Saturday nights. That's fine. But WWE just retaliating, this is making WWE look bad other than AEW to me. What's going on?
Okay.
Why does WWE have to do that? That's all I'm asking.
Well, I know why. Because they're in a fight, and
competition is fine. I don't mind competition.
They're in a fight. That's just what it is. They're in a fight, and AEW swung, so they're trying to swing back. Sometimes you just gotta know when to block and don't swing. It's like it's like watching baseball, and the pitcher gets mad because the batter's not swinging. He's only throwing balls. He's not throwing strikes because he's not. This you don't have to swing at everything, and they're just swinging that shit. And I don't want them to. The first thing I thought of when I heard about this is when Nick Khan made a joke about making Raw 4 hours, and I wanted to jump off a building. I
Oh
never
my
heard
God, yeah, I
something.
remember that.
I heard some. I heard him say that, and I was like, "Don't you ever say something like that to me again?" That. So I hope that's not a retaliation, because that's just mean. That's
That's just
mean.
that's rude to us fans, and we don't like
That's what
that.
I'm
But
saying. Don't add an hour to SmackDown. Don't add an hour to NXT. I don't want to see WWE Saturday Slam. I don't want you
Saturday
to.
morning slam, remember that shit? Remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit? That was
I don't
terrible.
want that. I can't. I'll be sleep on Saturdays. I can't. No, no, I can't. It's too much wrestling. It's too much wrestling. I'm gonna say this in the most honest way. AEW is doing the Collision show for a specific reason, because they have a CM Punk there, and they want
Yes,
CM Punk to be on TV. But some people don't like CM Punk, so they had to do something that only works for AEW. That does not mean that they have to do. No, no. Let's first of all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know many people who are going to tune into AEW Collision rather than like SummerSlam or something. And if they do, that's cool.
yeah,
But guess
right,
what? I don't. The logic of one show's on TV and one's on the paper, one's on Peacock. It's like you're not switching channels. Ideally, if I wanted to, I could watch Collision on my laptop and watch freaking SummerSlam on my TV or something like that. If you have two sources
exactly,
of media,
exactly,
but even if you have one source of media, choose a show and stick with it, or go back, and it doesn't matter. Rating, I'll understand if they were both on TV at the same time. It's a streaming service and a channel. If I'm missing something on this, if there's something I don't know, then I need someone to correct me. But as far logically in my head, I don't see the issue. I don't see the reason to swing back at this when this isn't a swing towards. I don't think Tony Khan did this to attack WWE, and I
Tony
love
Khan
attacking
did
Tony Khan.
not make a second show for AEW out of malicious
Yeah,
intent. He needs a second
yeah,
show in order to get the roster going.
that's what I'm saying. I love making fun of I love making fun of Tony Khan. You know that, but I don't think that was his intention with this one. I don't think he meant to do that. I know Triple H. I think Triple H hates him more than I do.
And listen,
But
and I've said
you know,
it, and I've said this on multiple occasions. Listen, at some points when you're just trying to work with networks, whatever they give you, you just gotta take it. You just gotta take it. If there was
mm,
any other day, I'm sure Tony Khan would have jumped at the opportunity. But Tony Khan probably met with the executives of TNT and said, listen, we can't really move anything else back for you, but we can give you Saturday nights at 8 p.m. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm taking the opportunity and running with it, because at least that gets me
yeah,
more opportunity for more wrestling, for my product, and it can get my roster happy knowing that we're going to be all set and ready to go. You got to take chances, man. And the thing is, when it comes to a new show for AEW, I'm all for it. But we this is not like an ill will type of an intent for Tony Khan. He just needed second shot to get the roster in check.
yeah. That's the way I look at it. I mean, obviously a retaliation isn't confirmed. I just don't want them to. The only way I can see this working is if,
Yeah, no, this is confirmed by people.
yeah, the only way I can see this working is
Yeah.
two ways. One is if they move main event to Saturdays. Again, you're putting yourself behind the eight ball, because no one's going. Me, me personally, I'm not going to turn on main event over Collision. I'm probably going to watch Collision, most likely.
Yes.
It, I,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't. I'm not going to want to watch main event, most likely. I know what main event provides. If they want to do something to retaliate, it can't be wrestling. It cannot be another wrestling show. I've been asking them to do this
Yeah.
for. I've been asking them to do this for years now, and I feel like we talked about this before. I was talking about it with somebody
Yeah.
before. I
Like
think
the
I think it was the
the
last time.
third hour being like a
Yeah,
sports like a first take type of show. Yeah.
just do
Type of thing.
that.
Yeah.
Dog, just please, I promise you it'll make you
It,
more money. I promise it'll
and
make you
here's the
more
thing,
money.
it would work. It would work, especially if
It
you
would
keep
be
it kayfabe
perfect.
and actually get things going when it comes to stories, bro. Dude, that'd be
If
so
you
good.
combine, bro, if you combine what Talking Smack used to be with Paul and Kayla, and then merge that with like what the second half of Raw Talk is, and then just make it complete. You can bring legends on. It could be the main thing. It has to be kayfabe controlled because it can't be like you can't see through the wall of it not being real. You have to treat it as if it is what it is.
Yeah,
That it's money,
yeah,
and people will catch on to it because one is you're not watching matches that you don't want to watch. And last time I checked, a lot of people have nostalgia about Talking Smack because Paul and Kayla were great. You had the Miz moment and multiple promo when Paul was talking to Big E. You had multiple moments that push storylines along when SmackDown and Raw weren't on. Just do that if you're gonna if that's
right.
retaliation. But if your retaliation is another wrestling show, you're just gonna look stupid. You're gonna look completely stupid.
Yeah. Now, now speaking of AEW Collision, there were other reports that came out earlier on in the week that I don't know if you heard about this or not, but the show name, you know how AEW Rampage, the second episode was called The First Dance when CM Punk
Mm-hmm.
returned to
Yeah,
basically professional wrestling.
yeah.
They have the first show basically named almost the same thing, but it's called The Second Coming. Now,
Oh dear God.
now obviously that means CM Punk is going to be a part of that show. I mean, CM Punk he was going to be the star of the show anyway, but CM Punk is returning on that show. The second coming of CM Punk basically is confirmed for June 17th, uh, wherever that may be. I believe that taping is going to be in Chicago. So obviously that makes the most sense there. Collision is going to happen. And we are going to be seeing things as we move along here when it comes to AEW and what they decide to do there. But when it comes down to all of that, retaliation is not the right state of mind when it comes to WWE, and they should definitely not be doing that. But WWE loves having their own set of rules, and they just go by whatever they want to go by. Whether this is a Vince move or whether this is a Triple H move, it doesn't fucking matter. They don't need to do this because that wasn't the intent of Tony Khan making the show.
It's gonna look stupid. I feel like they should be lucky that they don't have to make a AEW or a WWE Collision. You don't have to do that. You have
Yes,
mad hours of TV on TV already. You have 3 of Raw,
yes.
2 on Fox, 2 on USA. Um, you don't need that. You got the Peacock deal. You're making money hand over fist with that Saudi Arabia shit. Wherever that
Yes.
money goes, I don't know, and I care not to get into that.
On
But
weekly television, including, yeah, on weekly television, including NXT, you have 7 hours of programming because 3 Raw, 2 NXT, and 2 SmackDown. That's
yeah,
7 hours of programming. Tony Khan has 2 hours of live TV and 1 hour taped. He needed a second show live to make something
yeah.
happen. So now that 3 turns into 5. One of them being taped, but regardless, we're gonna have 2 live shows now for AEW. That's what we wanted, and that's what it kind of needed for so long. That's what his intent was. Not to just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go after WWE pay-per-views now." No, WWE used to put stuff on AEW's calendar. They did Worlds Collide on like the same night as like a pay-per-view once. They did many WWE pay-per-view events at least on the same weekend as some AEW. WWE is the problem at fault here when they tried to retaliate against AEW when AEW is just trying to be in existence. And I know that might sound like me being a show for AEW, but you look at the way things go, it's been that way.
Listen, I don't care about that other stuff. I don't really care about. I understand why they do that, but if I'm being honest with you, I'm sure WWE is aware that they are still the most prominent wrestling company in the world. So if they put on a WrestleMania show, you're still going to get your views. You're still going to get a certain amount of people that watch your show. I don't think many people are going to run to CM Punk live. Then they're going to run away from WrestleMania. I don't think they're going to do that. Whoever decides to do that, that's not for me to decide. I know what
Yep.
I'm gonna do, and that's all I care about. But when these businesses are looking at it from a grand scheme of things, I don't know why. I understand the whole draw aspect of certain people on the show, but WWE is still the number one show just off of numbers, and AEW Collision is not going to change that. AEW Collision is mainly done just so they can appease certain people, and that's okay. That's what they want to do. But what AEW has to do does not determine what WWE needs to do. You know what I'm saying? Just because AEW is making a move does not mean WWE has
Right.
to make a move as well. Because you don't know why they're making that move. They're not making that move probably to punch you. They're making that move to avoid something. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to avoid something that's happening to them.
Yeah.
We're fine right now. So just relax. It's not that serious, bro. It's not. If it was something more egregious, trust me, I would be the first one to say it. Tony, stop it. I love talking bad. I hate that dude, but he has some sort of intellect when coming down to this stuff, or AEW would have been going by now. So I'm not going to be a hater forever. I gotta call a spade. And what this is it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that deep to me.
Yeah. We got a month. We got a month. Because it's legitimately a month from today. All right. So let's figure this out. WWE, you don't have to retaliate, but it is what it is. They're gonna do what they need to do. Now, I will stick to AEW Collision, and we'll just get into why Miro and Thunder Rosa were backstage at Dynamite last week, mainly because of the fact it looks like they could be joining AEW Collision. Now, Wednesday's episode of Dynamite featured the two returns of Miro and Thunder Rosa, as both did backstage segment with Renee Paquette. For Miro, when he was asked why he was brought back to AEW Dynamite, he did not answer, and he just simply walked into TK's office. Miro hasn't wrestled regularly since 2021, and in 2022, he only wrestled 4 times. The last time we saw him was at All Out of last year. Regarding Thunder Rosa, however, she also did an interview and said that tonight seemed to be a good night to talk to Poppy Khan before going into his office. Rosa relinquished the AEW Women's World Championship back in November of last year due to a back injury. After missing a few months of action, she returned onto the road with AEW as a part of the Spanish commentary team in February. Sean Ross Sampa Fightful Select reported that the returns of Thunder Rosa and Miro, as well as other wrestlers incoming, are directly tied to the debut of AEW Collision. While speaking to the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that Rosa is still dealing with this back injury. Quote, Miro doesn't surprise me because he's been on the show for a while, and so he could be one of the new stars of the Saturday show, AEW Collision. Thunder Rosa, however, her back is still really bad. I was kind of surprised. She's been at the tapings every week for Spanish commentary, and I know that when she's trained in the ring, they showed on they showed one of them on All Access, and granted that was months ago, but I've heard still that she has been training. She's hurting a lot. Her back is not better, and they reintroduced her. I don't know what the role will be. I don't get the impression that she is ready to return so quickly, end quote, said Meltzer. So, Miro and Thunder Rosa. Looks like they could be a part of the AEW Collision show. I'm fine with that, because honestly, we haven't seen them in months. Hell, Miro for like almost a year plus, you know? That's why I like AEW Collision, because at the end of the day, we're going to get superstars that we don't normally get to see on a regular basis on Dynamite. They'll be on Collision, and they're going to get some reps in, and that's what's going to be mattering the most. Thunder Rosa, on the other hand, I don't think Tony Khan and AEW would bring her back if it wasn't for something. So I don't know what that is going to be about, but Thunder Rosa, if her back is still injured, what's really going on there? You know?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Breaking news: AEW Collision needs wrestlers for their wrestling show. Like that's all I heard.
I mean, they're gonna do this whole roster split or something. We have no
Yeah,
idea how that's gonna turn out.
listen. I would do a draft so fast, but don't do it like they just did it on Raw and SmackDown.
Don't do the WWE draft on AEW.
Yeah,
That's not what we need.
find your own
Um,
way to do a draft. Make a draft and then keep them separate. Don't have people. Don't no free agents. No people coming over back and forth. No, separate. If you're
no,
gonna separate them,
no.
keep them the hell
And
separate, please.
here's the thing about this too, is that listen, when it comes to AEW Collision and AEW Dynamite, first of all, I want to ask you off. How many
Mm.
championships does AEW have in this goddamn company?
I don't know.
I have number. Don't worry. You can just say the number.
Hold on. MJF, Orange Cassidy, FTR, women's belt.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. There gotta be TNC belt. TNC belt. I don't know who has that one. Who has the TNC belt? Who has the TNC? I don't know. FTW championship. I'm not sure if that's recognized as one, but
That's not
FTW.
recognized. No.
Okay, all right, found it. Fuck. That's gotta
You're
be it,
close.
right?
You're close. You're
I can't
close.
think of it anymore.
There's
Yeah,
seven. There's seven.
world title. There's seven.
There's seven.
Hold on. World title,
There's
tag
seven.
title.
Here, I'll name them. I'll name them. Okay. We have the AEW World Championship, the TNT
Yeah.
title,
Okay.
the AEW World Tag Team titles,
Okay.
the AEW Women's World Championship,
Yeah.
the TBS Championship,
Oh, that's it.
the Trios Championship,
Ah.
and the International Championship. So that's seven.
Damn. Okay.
We have 7 championships. 8 if you're counting the FTW title, but that's not technically recognized by AEW. Now, I say this because AEW has 7 fucking championships. We can legitimately split these championships onto the 2 shows without it really hurting anything. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The TNT title could go to TNT. The TBS championship can stay on TBS. You can split the tag team division and the trios division, depending on how you want to do that.
Yeah.
The international championship can stay wherever it needs to stay, and you have one AEW world champion that possibly, and I know you just said that we don't need people going back and forth between both shows, but I don't want a secondary world championship in AEW. That's not what I want. I don't want that.
I thought about that.
I don't want
the other
that.
night. I meant to text you the other night. I thought about that. I was scared they were going to try to appease CM Punk and give him an AEW Collision World title, and I was like, no, don't, no.
I don't want that, dude. I
Oh.
don't want a secondary world championship. If there was one person, if there was any one person, one champion that should be floating between both shows so that everybody at least can have some shot, it's the AEW world title. That's it.
Yeah.
One world championship, and that is it. Because I don't want 2 world championships, because that just devalues everything, to me.
Mm-hmm.
To me.
Yeah.
So you can split these 7 championships in the way that you have to in order to make the brand split work, but you got to do it in the right way, you know? So there's a way to do it. It's just trying to figure that out. Now,
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa and Miro could be going to AEW Collision. That's cool. That's cool. That's fine. We just kind of figure out how things are going to go. AEW Collision is a big mystery at this point, and we're a month away.
Mm.
And they're slated to. Tony Khan is a big announcement tonight in terms of what is going to be going down.
Oh.
So basically the announcement, Loft, is just going to be AEW Collision.
Oh, okay.
It's Collision and their apparent $1 billion deal when it comes to Warner Brothers.
Damn.
Did you hear about that?
I saw someone said something. I didn't know what it was. I saw someone said something yesterday. I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, they apparently rumored was getting a $1 billion TV deal when it comes to Warner Brothers. That means Warner Brothers will have the entire AEW library, which means that we could possibly be moving to HBO Max when it comes to pay-per-views for AEW, which is fantastic. Because we don't have to pay $60 anymore if that's the case, or $60+ anymore for their shows. And I say that mainly because if you basically just look through the entire landscape of what's been going on right now for the buildup of Double or Nothing or All Out or All In, we have not heard anything as to where we could even be watching these shows on pay-per-view. So who knows what TK really has announced for it, but we can be seeing a lot of good stuff when it comes to that. So there's that. And speaking of All In, the big name that is slated to be booked for AEW All In, New Japan Pro Wrestling superstar Will Ospreay.
I heard about that one.
Will Ospreay. And that's fantastic. Will Ospreay, he lost the IWGP US title to Kenny Omega a few months back, and he faced chance for Doral June. Will Ospreay being a part of All In just makes a lot of sense, and honestly, if they're doing something with Kenny Omega again for Will Ospreay, that is just that's fantastic.
Yeah. That's cool.
So I'm very excited about this All In show, and considering now All In is making waves when it comes to the attendance of like ticket sales and everything like that. Almost 70,000 tickets sold already, and not even a match has been announced yet for that show. Bro, All In is gonna be like WrestleMania to them. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean, I expect really good things out of the All Out show. I don't know why people were wanting it to just fall into obscurity so bad, but I think it's gonna be a great show. I'm actually this is probably the most excited I've been about an AEW show in a little bit, just because there's a lot of potential. If it does something stupid, I'll be the first to let you know, but I'm not going to just call it stupid before they even do anything. I'm excited, so I think they're gonna do something really cool. So I'm down.
If there was any chance I could be a part of that 90,000 plus, I would totally jump at the opportunity. But dude, I can't go to the UK. I can't. I can't.
Not happening. I'll be right here watching on TV.
I'll be here watching it, and we will be reviewing it right here on OTB. And now, I know people are probably going to be asking as well, Phil, are you going to be covering AEW Collision? I got to figure that out. I have to. Because now with everything going on with WWE and possibly them retaliating, I have no idea what the fuck they're doing. So I want to cover Collision, and I want to cover that first show, especially because CM Punk is going to be back, and we'll see where things go with that. I want to cover Collision. But when it comes to the Collision shows that are going to be happening on pay-per-view, not on pay-per-view, but the pay-per-view days for WWE, I have to cover the pay-per-view for WWE. That's going to be the bigger thing. And honestly, at the end of the day, people are going to be wanting more of that when it comes to us instead of just a random Collision show that I could probably cover on a Sunday.
Yeah,
I
that's the
could,
one
I
thing
could
I thought
watch it
about.
the next day and figure that out.
That's what I'm saying. The one thing I thought about is that AEW has a rare chance to make up for what Rampage messed up on. You know what I'm saying? Like Rampage
Yes.
was supposed to be the secondary show, and it just fell to what it is, unfortunately, now. So, they have a chance. They have a chance to make it better. They have a chance to make Collision the show that Rampage was supposed to be. So don't mess it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all.
That's basically the whole point. Just don't fuck it up, and we'll see where things go.
Yeah,
But
pretty much it.
but yeah, man.
Yeah.
Quick and easy stuff, guys. Right there. A little bit over a half hour. Hope you guys enjoyed what you guys heard today. If you guys did, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We'll come back to you guys tomorrow for some more news. When it comes to an OTB Extra, we got some news when it comes to LA Knight. Yeah. Is he supposedly going to be a
Yeah.
part of a tag team? We'll find out. Big plans for the World Heavyweight Championship. Big plans. So, there's going to be something with that. And then, obviously, we've heard some news possibly about having some revamped entrance music for some WWE superstars. So we'll cover that in the next episode, which will be coming to you guys tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And we'll talk to you next time on OTB Extra. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us. For Loft, I'm Phil. Thank you so much for watching OTB. Peace out, guys.